Hey, you guys, welcome back to this edition of Writer Groupie. As you can tell, I am booting up my computer, getting ready for my off from work but working at home day, working on the book. I have a lot of great information and things to share with you today, but some of it I want to share with you and I can't do it yet. It's great news and I think you'll be excited about it. I hope you will. But today, let's talk about a few extra things that goes on behind the scenes in a writer's life. Next on Writer Groupie. Well, one of the first things I do in the mornings, talking about behind the scenes, is I pull up my bank account online and I check my bank account and I update a spreadsheet that I have going every month for my budget. It's something you have to do behind the scenes as a writer because sometimes your book sales don't pay the bills. That's why I have a day job. That's why a lot of authors have a day job, is because you got to have money to survive. And, most of us are waiting for our books to hit the big time. So we're hoping for the future for our books to be the most successful that they've ever been. But until that happens, you got to keep on top of the budget. Okay, you guys, well, sometimes things happen and sometimes we change our mind. And that's kind of what I've done today is I've changed my mind and decided that, you know what, maybe it might be better for me to talk about what's going on in my life so far as my writing is concerned and how that might apply to you rather than what's going on behind the scenes. There's a little bit of a difference there, not a whole lot, a little bit. So today I've decided I'm going to talk about pen names and how you switch genres and how that all works, because that's exactly what I'm doing. That's what I've done. And it's kind of an interesting dynamic that I think you might enjoy. Okay, so I wrote a mystery series. It's not finished yet. I still have more books that I want to write in that series called the Shannon Wallace Mysteries, beginning with the book Disc of Death. I have written a romance series set in a small town called the Mount Moriah series. It is not finished. I still have more books that I want to write in that series. Those books and a few others like short stories, anthology entries, and those kinds of things I have done under the name Kim Smith. That has become a pen name for me. That was my real name at one time, but it has become a pen name for me since my late husband passed away and I have remarried. So now I am writing a completely new series under a completely new name. It's fantasy. Yay for fantasy. Why it took me so long to get here, I will never know. I love fantasy. I read a lot of fantasy, and fantasy is the first thing that I really discovered as a reader back in the day, way back in the day. So here's all the little details. I am writing a fantasy that will be a part of an epic fantasy series. Epic meaning big world, lots of things going on in the world, many subplots, many characters. But this first book is like the prelude. It's like the absolute necessary beginning to the series. It's hard to create an epic world without having some kind of foundation, in my opinion. And so that's what this book is. It's called The Magic Scarf. I'm writing it under M.K. Browning, and you can go to mkbrowning.com and find out all the latest and greatest details. You guys, it would thrill me no end if you would go out and sign up to be a part of the newsletter, because that's where I'm going to be sending all the details about the upcoming book. That's where you'll get freebies and giveaways. That's where you'll learn about the building of the entire world of degrees. That's what I'm calling it, the world of degrees. All the news and stuff you can use is going to be in the newsletter. So if you're interested, please do go out to mkbrowning.com and sign up for the newsletter. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I promise I won't scam you, spam you, or otherwise take advantage of the fact that you've been so kind as to sign up. But if you would like to do that, I promise you will get some good cool stuff and informative information. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. That's what I'm working on. And let me tell you guys, it is not the easiest thing I have ever done, switching genres and trying to build up a new pen name. I have a lot of followers as Kim Smith, and I have a lot of interaction whenever I post stuff as Kim Smith. I still have the Kim Smith name. I still have the Kim Smith website. I still have all of that stuff. And so whenever I post anything on social media, I get a great lot of interaction. Not so much with this new moniker. So if you guys wouldn't mind, just go out to MK Browning Author on Instagram and MK Browning Author, I think, or just MK Browning on Facebook, and fan and follow me. I would really appreciate it because I have found that this change in name is the worst. And that just reminds me that if you have been thinking about starting up a new pen name, bear this in mind. It is difficult, if not impossible anymore, to get traction with new fans and followers on social media. If they don't already know you, chances are good they're not going to fan and follow you. People are not into that anymore. It's not that important to them. The people who are fanning and following are new names, new people, new, accounts coming online. And while I'm not new, I am looking forward to talking to you online. I'm looking forward to interacting with you online. This book is the book of my heart, and I want for everybody to be able to read it, and I want everybody to be able to fan and follow me. Go to mkbrowning.com, the website, sign up for the newsletter, fan and follow me on the social media, because as I've said, it's impossible. It's just impossible to get any traction because nobody knows who you are. And to be really honest, I think some people go by how many people are following you as to whether they want to follow you or not. And when you're brand new with a new name and you're coming out with a new book and you don't have anything else to really talk about, it's hard. It's very hard. And I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. And also, switching genres. If you're switching genres in a big way, for some reason, mystery and romance didn't seem to be that big of a jump for people. I think people who like romance will still read mysteries, and people who like cozy mysteries don't mind switching over and reading small town romance, that kind of thing. But going from mystery romance to fantasy, huge jump. And it's YA fantasy, which is even worse because not everybody wants to read YA fantasy. Not everybody wants to read about kids in a fantasy world. So if that's you, I appreciate you anyway. Thank you for being my subscriber on YouTube. And if that's not you, please do go out and find me, on the social media sites and on my website, and let's interact because that's what I really, really want. Well, I'm sorry if this video has seemed just a little bit redundant. I've said the same thing a couple of times. My lawn man has been outside working in the yard, and I've had to stop and start a million times to keep from having all that in the noise, the noise in the background. And so I have a tendency to repeat myself when I'm not too focused. I apologize. I do want to say this. If you are planning on starting a new pen name and switching genres, or switching genres and creating a new pen name because of it, like I did, bear in mind all the things that you will have to entertain. New BookBub page, new Amazon page, new types of graphics for your social media posts. Those are just teeny tiny little things that are coming off the top of my head right now, but they become big things when you have to work so hard to create this new persona for yourself. There's a lot of extra things that you have to do. I am also, believe it or not, going to go wide with this book, and this is a first for me. I have been Amazon exclusive with everything I've written up until now, and I'm going wide with this book, and oh boy, there's a whole lot to be said about that. There's a bunch of stuff you have to do when you go wide. And, I'm just hoping to gain more of a readership. There's nothing wrong with going wide. There's nothing wrong with being Amazon exclusive. And I don't think either way will be a detriment to your success or, and who knows what the benefits are. We have to try everything, right? So don't worry about all that. And if you have a small publisher behind you, which I do, and this news is coming very soon, some of this will be done by your publisher, and it won't be something you really have to worry about. But the fact that I'm changing names and changing genres, that's what makes this so difficult, because there's so much that I have to do to get a whole new audience to follow me. Okay, enough said. Okay, you guys, so enough said about that. If you want more information about changing genres or building a new followership after you've changed genres and using a new pen name and like that, leave me a comment down below and I'll try and get to it and figure out another way to say it. All I could think about today was the fact that it's very hard. And so far as behind the scenes, yeah, I may do that one after all. We may do another one about behind the scenes. As you can see, I am now dressed in swimming wear because I'm going to an aquasize class, but the very first one I've ever done, and I'm excited about that. Behind the scenes, you guys, exercise. It's very important because we sit on our butts in front of a computer an awful lot. So you get out there and you take a walk today and love your heart a little bit. Okay, guys, till next time, it's me signing off. Everybody go follow me.